Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm about to upset some people. I'm going to upset some people, but let's just be real honest. There's a lot of trends out there that are really popular. Even friends of mine fall for some of these trends, and they don't like when I have to say something about it, but it's the truth. Um, these are complete nonsense, and it's the ice baths and the cupping thing. All right. These are some of the most ridiculous things, unsubstantiated by science, not even good biology explanations for any benefits that scam artists have convinced people to fall for. And the ice baths, I get it, the Rogan fans are all into it, and Bruce Lee did it and everything else, but that doesn't mean that it works. And in fact, here's the problem. Ice impedes recovery from training and it slows down wound healing. Cold is not your friend. The reason you ice injuries is to get the swelling down on your way to the hospital. Okay, that's why you do it. That's the only reason historically why. Injuries heal slower. Ice will slow down the healing process. Okay, we need to be clear here. It will slow down the healing process. We also know that ice baths can blunt training response from exercise. Okay, there's no reason to do it. And I get a lot of people who have heard explanations about dopamine, other stuff with the ice baths. That's unsubstantiated. Like that's not documented well in literature anywhere. Okay? It's not. And there's lots of things you can do to impact your dopamine that don't require you to submerge yourself in water. So any effect that people are getting from a lot of this stuff is placebo. But I want to be clear, the actual ice baths, they're not helpful. They're actually harmful for your recovery. If you're training, lifting, training for sports, if you're trying to elicit a training response of any type, they're not a good thing. People will also go, well, you could do them the next day. All right, maybe, but how many days off are you guys taking from training? And also, we don't know for a fact it won't blunt the effects then. If you do them the same day of training, yeah, it's going to blunt effects. And that's just the reality of it. So people are doing it. You're getting a placebo of some type. And I'm all for placebos. Placebos can work great. Placebos are powerful. Unless placebo is costing you a lot of money, or the placebo has negative physiological effects. Okay? See the problem there? So your brain's perceiving, because you've convinced yourself you're going to have a benefit, but then it's actually doing the opposite physically. That's not really a good way to placebo. At the very least, find a placebo that's going to have a neutral effect, not a negative effect. Right? Right. Cupping. All right, not only does it look ridiculous after people look like they've been attacked by a rabid octopus. That's what it looks like. It looks like a rabid octopus attacked you. And then on top of that, everyone who sees it knows what you did, and anyone who knows the history of this also thinks that you're stupid. Okay? So you have that, they're like, oh wow, what a sucker. Well, there's the suction cup marks on you. But you guys know what I meant. All right. There's no benefit to this. And again, people will, I noticed this or that benefit. I'm like, it's placebo. I remember when this cupping stuff first started, and it wasn't even fully in the athletic and sports world, right? It was Eastern medicine practitioners were doing it, and they were explaining that, see, your body removes toxins through like the certain type of energy. They believed it was drawing a specific negative energy with the fluids that were coming into the little cups. And it was a completely esoteric, energetic explanation. In other words, not based on something measurable, quantifiable. Again, this is problematic. This is problematic. And no, I'm not discounting all religion or all spiritual practices when I say that. But, if that's going to be our physiological explanation, we have a problem. And it's the same thing when you see the level of deep tissue massage where people are all bruised up from the implements. I'm sorry, you don't have good science to back that. You're damaging people's tissue. And they start explaining, oh, they're breaking up fascia. No, you're not. You might have bruised the hell out of somebody. You're causing tissue trauma. But you didn't break up fascia. It's not strong enough to break fascia up. There's almost nothing you're going to do to break your muscle fascia up and to stretch it and all these things. That's also bullshit. Okay? Anytime someone's talking to you about stretching fascia, you know they're a con artist with it. All right, let's be clear on that. Just physiologically speaking, that's a con. All right, you come over to these suction cups and people being all bruised up. You're bruising yourself and injuring the tissues of your body, elevating various stress hormones in the body for no positive benefit. There's no benefit. There's no science behind it. There's no scientific evidence that has shown any benefit when it's been studied. There is no rational, documented scientific explanation for why there would be any benefit. Okay? It's based entirely upon a Eastern spiritual practice. Again, if that is not your religion, I don't see why you're following it. Let's come over to the point. Everyone has a right to their religious beliefs, okay? But if you're going to practice a spiritual and religious practice as the explanation for something you're doing from a religion you don't even believe in, that's not part of your spirituality, you're kind of an idiot. Just saying. Because at least you have the logic, well, this is part of my religious belief. Okay, that's a chain of logic. Okay? It comes from a belief system you believe in. Okay. Again, I'm not going to knock people's right to their belief systems. But if it's not your own, you didn't grow up in that environment, it's not part of your life or your practices, you're just letting someone stick suction cups on you and bruise the hell out of you and paying them to do it for a placebo effect. Again, we come over to this whole point. These are goofball level placebos. There are placebos that don't damage your body. There are placebos that don't impede your progress. Let's stick with those. There's no need to go to these extreme levels for placebos. And and I hate to say it, but it's so bad. These are so obviously scams, like scary level scams that people just fall for in masses, that whenever someone starts talking about they do it, I literally hear in my head, and I can't help it, it just seeps in. Pronto, it's got electrolytes, it's got what plants crave. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.